Hey everyone, welcome to Kempner Canucks. My name is Rev Trev, and I'm glad you're here because today we're talking about playoffs, baby. Will the Canucks make the playoffs? Are the Canucks playoff bound? If you haven't hit that like and subscribe button and checking out my content, listen, I do realistic, passionate, and honest Canucks content. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Okay, so I know there's a lot of people that are really poo-pooing our chances on making the playoffs. I think there's so many people that had been in this spot before. You know, preseason's over, season's just around the corner, and they've thought this before, that we're going to make the playoffs. And but here's the thing: we've made so many significant changes. Like, the team from last year to this year is significantly different. So have we made enough changes? And is it too many changes? Because if you think about it, we've done so much change that maybe the chemistry isn't there. We've changed coaches 3 years, well, not 3 years in a row, but 3 consecutive coaches. Everyone's been so excited when this new coach came on. So here's Talkett's first year as a full season head coach, and we're going to see what he's cooking up here. And so we know that we're not rebuilding, we've retooled, and this is our retool effort. This is our playoff moment. So the question is, will we make the playoffs? I think there's some keys that we need to talk about today. At the end, I'm going to give my opinion whether we will or will not. But let me start first and foremost. Probably the most important thing for us to have a chance at making a playoffs is health. Now, every team battles with injuries, okay? So it doesn't matter what team. This is a physical, fast, difficult sport to play in. People get hurt. But if our stars get injured, and long-term injuries, that could greatly affect our chances. If we lose Pettersson or Miller or Hughes or Demco, you know, the core players, maybe even Kuzmenko for long periods of time, it's going to be difficult to make the playoffs. So we got to stay relatively healthy. The core needs to stay healthy, and that will give us a good shot. The second thing is the thing that we were the worst at last year, and that was penalty kill. So I want to bring up some stats here that I made up for us to make it quite clear with our penalty stats. I'm going to put them over here so that you can see them a little better. So we were the worst NHL penalty kill, okay? Like, that's the thing you don't want to be known for, is number one, okay? So we're number one, 71.6 points percentage. Number two was the Ducks at 72, as well as the Blues. The Canadians were right there as well. Then the Sabres, fifth worst, were 73. Now you'll see here, how high do you need to be in order to make the playoffs? Here's the worst penalty kill playoff teams, okay? The 9 worst was the Kings, and they made it 75.8%. So we have to come up at least to 75% to even have a shot. Look at Panthers 76, as well as the Kraken 77% were the Oilers, and number 13 was the Golden Knights at 77. So we need to really come up to that 77% chance, because after that there's a whole range of teams. So as you can see, the best penalty killer team in the league was the Boston Bruins, 87.3%. Now, Boston was amazing at so many things last year, so it's hard to compare. They were the number one team, and by quite a bit of margin as well. So now, a lot of people have thought with their changes, they're not going to be able to repeat what they did last season either. But the Canucks significantly have to get better at the penalty kill to even have a chance to make the playoffs. Because if it's like this again, or it's bottom 5, we will not make the playoffs. And that's why we brought in Suter and Soucy. And that's why we have Mikheyev and I'm trying to think of someone else. Bluger, right? These are the guys that are going to be playing significant minutes on our penalty kill, and they just need, if we can get to that 77%, we're gonna have a much better chance. Like, think about how many points are lost just because our penalty kill stunk so bad, and they will be tested. First 2 games we play the Oilers back to back, so that's the other thing. Okay, now speaking of core players staying healthy, I think most of all it has to be Demco that stays healthy. Now, he is the difference maker. This is the graphic I'm going to show you right here. I'm probably going to do a video on this eventually as well. But Demco is the difference maker. We were in full tank mode last year. And then Thatcher Demco comes back. And that dream's over. He's not going to play bad. He's not going to sit there and go, I'm not going to... He's the difference, guys. Like, DeSmith's good for short periods of time, right? Shilaw's good for a small period of time. Like, he's not ready yet. It's Demco, $5.5 million. He is our guy. When we went into the bubble, he was phenomenal. He is a phenomenal goalie. I'm so glad we have them. But if we do not have a healthy Demco, you can kiss the season goodbye. And this is the wrong year to tank because Bedard's not coming out. He's already gone. And so... I mean, there's always good players coming up and we need to do. But I'm just telling you right now, this is the bad year to tank. This is the year. You got to go get Demco. I know there's going to be great guys. Don't get me wrong, okay? Please don't crucify me in the comments for that comment. But if you think about it, Demco is the difference maker. And so and I don't think we have a problem, even though we're talking about penalty kill. We do not have a problem scoring goals. I do not anticipate us with this team able to score on the power play 5-on-5. I think we're going to be okay. This is a good lineup for that. So that's why I'm not putting that in a key, because I think it's almost a given. We're able to score 3, 4, 5, 6 goals in a game, and it's going to be awesome. So, and then the next one is just going to be a really huge Captain Obvious. It is, we need a good start. It's just a fact. We need a good start. We don't have to have a great start. We have to be good enough. We cannot have a bad start. We cannot afford to do this again for the 3rd year in a row, guys. Because if we have a bad start, I don't care what happens. There's only one St. Louis Blues that were the worst team, and was it December or January, who not only made the playoffs and won a Stanley Cup. It's possible, but it's almost impossible to do. So they did the impossible by doing that. That is not a great way. Now, we know that the schedule's tough for the first 2 months. So what we do in that first 2 months will determine whether we're going to be real deal or not. And we know that the pressure's on because Pettersson is not going to stick around if this is not a team contending for the playoffs, being in the playoffs, trying to get a Stanley Cup. And you can't really blame him when he's like that. How many years do we need to stink before he's like, hey, I'm out, right? So this is a huge, huge year for us. Now, the last key, and it's just another Captain Obvious moment, but is that we need to outproduce the other potential playoff teams. Now, if you look at this Central, for example, you've got the Wild, the Avs, and the Stars. To me, they look like they're going to be the ones that are going to come out of that division, right? So now Winnipeg made it last year. They had 95 points. That was the minimum that you could get in, was 95 points. So I think you need plus 95 points to make the playoffs in these divisions. So 4 teams made it there. 4 teams made the Pacific with the Golden Knights, who they'll be great again. The Oilers, the Los Angeles Kings, the Kraken, and then you had the Calgary Flames knocking on the door with 93 points. So we've got to outproduce those players, as well as Nashville had 92 points as well. I don't think Chicago's going to be in it, but they only had 59 points last season. So, but they're going to be greatly improved. So they're going to probably do some Cinderella stuff. But I still think the Ducks stink. San Jose is still awful, and we got to beat some of these teams. The Blues, 81 points, not that great. We were already better than the Blues last year. I don't think they improved enough. So which of these teams are we leapfrogging? Is it going to be Seattle? Is it Calgary? Is it the Kings? Is it the Jets? Is it the Predators? Like, these are the teams we have to be better on to just to squeak into the playoffs. Of course, it'd be awesome if we were second or third in the Pacific and we just got in. That would be fantastic. So those are some of the keys to getting into this into the playoffs this season. And I'm excited to watch Pettersson and Kuzmenko and Miller and Besser and Garland. I'm excited to see this new defensive core. I'm pumped to see a healthy Demco. I want to see who's going to emerge. Is Höglander going to do something this year? I'm really hoping that he does. I love what nobody's complaining about watching Quinn Hughes, guys. Our new captain. He is a skating masterpiece, is maybe a way to put it. So yeah, if you look at, we just quickly go here. I don't know if I put down the wins column. So we basically, last year, we only had 38 wins. And Florida made it, well, let's just keep with the Pacific and the Central. Nashville had 42 wins. We got to get another 4 wins there just to be in the hunt. The Wild had 46. Like, we've got to get a significant number. The Kraken had 46 wins. We have to make wins, not just, I mean, don't get me wrong. If we can get into, getting a point and being in ties as well, that would be beneficial. But I just think that there's going to be some teams that are going to regress. But the big boys, the Avs, the Golden Knights, the Oilers, I think they're all going to stay up there. It's going to be, are the Kings going to continue? And they got better down the middle. The Stars is right there. The Kraken, I don't know. I have this feeling that the Kraken's going to come down a bit. But how many, are they going to lose 5 less games? That's going to be at 42. We have to get up there, guys. So that is what do you guys think are the keys to making the playoffs? Do you think we're going to make the playoffs? Please post in the comments whether the Canucks will make the playoffs or not, and who we're going to leapfrog in order to do that. I'm going on record right now, and I think we're going to find a way to make the playoffs. Now, Rutherford said, basically everything's got to fall into line in order for us to make it. And I'm like, that's not real a great confidence. Like, sometimes I wonder about where his head's at, right? I mean, he's Mr. Honesty, and I appreciate that. But you got to be a little more positive, brother. Like, this is the team that you put together. So that makes me nervous, to be honest. But, hey, these guys they're hungry. They want to win. They want to make it. Pettersson wants them to be in the playoffs. Hughes wants to be in the playoffs. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm saying right now, we're going to make the playoffs, baby. I don't know where we're going to go in. I think we're going to squeak in, to be honest with you, with this lineup. But I'm excited to see what we're going to do. So please hit that like and subscribe. And let me know if you think the Canucks will make it. And of course, always, go Canucks, go.